Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Debunked Paranormal. Today we have 7 clips that we will be debunking. Some of them contain animals, others don't. One contains a floating dart, which is weird, and then one contains a screaming woman. There's some of these, I have no idea how they did it, but maybe your sharp eyes and mind could sort it out with me. Now, if you have any ghost videos that you'd like me to debunk, please go ahead and email me, link in the description. Also, I have a person that suggested 2 channels that I will check out. So thank you for the suggestion. And then let's just get into it. And before I do, if you disagree with any of the clips that I'm debunking and you think that I'm wrong, don't just dislike and leave. Tell me in the comment section. You can still dislike, but tell me in the comment sections. Why you think I'm wrong, and then we can discuss it. Maybe I am wrong, which I could very well be. But here we go. First clip up. It is about a dog that gets dragged by a ghost.
Yeah, I saw. He was trained. My family invented them, but who heard it so boring? What the heck?
What happened, Bubba?
Just again. And I mean, it does seem like the dog is being dragged, right? So if you let me slow down just the part that he gets dragged, it's still there. Let me just slow down that part. It does appear like he's being dragged. But I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that is not the case. So what I'm thinking is happening here. Look, the camera quality is real bad, so we can't see if it's an older dog or not. So when you look at this part over here, before he gets dragged, quote unquote, he adjusts his leg there. You can see him adjusting his leg. Now, when he adjusts his leg, there's something I want you to look at. Look at the rest of his body. It also moves as he's just adjusting his leg, like it's moving backwards a bit. So if we go, he's adjusting his leg. Wait a minute. So over here, he adjusts his leg and his entire body moves by that adjustment. So there you can see, you see that motion that his body goes back a little bit with one frame? That's the adjustment of the leg. Now what I think is happening here, I have an old dog. He's about 12 years old. Now he's got like maybe hip dysplasia onset. Not early onset because he's 12, but he's got a bit of a hip dysplasia thing going on. And there has been times that he's been lying down, minding his own business. He moves his hip in a certain way, and he gives that little bark that they do when they get injured, and then he jumps up and he runs away from that specific spot. And that spot to a dog, because they do not have the mental awareness that we have. Like, okay, I just moved my knee in a certain way and it got injured. So that was my fault. And I'll just continue sitting down. Dogs don't do that. Or animals don't do that. They don't have the mental awareness. Like, it's not the spot where you were in that created the issue. It is you. So they will run away from said spot or even start growling because that's where they got hurt. That's just how dogs do it. That's just how they are. So the dog giving this big reaction of running away, it's not him being scared of a ghost dragging him. It's the result of him getting injured, and he thinks it's because of the specific location that he was in. And that's why he got injured. Doesn't have that mental awareness that we have. Now, what happens here is, because this dog might be a little bit older, I think he is, he might not even be, but you can only see the top leg moving. But remember, his bottom leg is also moving. But because the camera quality is so low, so we can't really see the muscle movement in the back because of the camera being so low quality. So, but he's also moving his bottom leg. Now he might have one of those involuntary movements which he didn't plan on doing, but it happens because that's why it's called involuntarily. And maybe he got injured in that. He injured himself by that because he's got weak hips, hip dysplasia maybe. And you'll say nobody can't because look at him jumping on the couch. Yeah, but my dog, you should see him running and he's got hip dysplasia. So I think people are reading too much into this, wanting to believe that it's a ghost, even though it's not. It's just a dog moving. He got injured. You need to understand animals to know that he's going to have that reaction because to him, it's the location that hurt him and not himself. So that's all that is. Next one is also a dog. Now this guy wants us to believe that the dog is seeing something moving in the room, and that is why he's reacting that way. Now there is a shadow that moves at random points, which I will point out to you guys, maybe by way of arrow, or I'll just point it out. But the dog reacts to that.
It's been freaking me out for about 15 minutes. I know, dude. What's going on? What are you seeing? Something's been spooking him. He's jumping around.
You'll see the shadow. There it is.
What are you seeing? Why don't you back up? Charlie.
Shadow's going to come back.
Calm down. It's okay. What are you seeing? You're freaking me out, buddy. Should we go, Bubba? You tell me when it's time to go.
There's the
I don't
shadow
know what you're
again.
looking at, but when we need to go, you let me know, buddy. What's freaking you out, Bub? Okay.
Well, it's going to continue like that throughout the entire clip. Now, if you didn't see the shadow, here it is. You can see it moving right there. Let me go back. You can see it moving right there. Now, he's not watching that shadow. He's looking there. He's not watching that shadow. He's looking there. He might even be looking at that thing, which could be, excuse me, that could be foreign to this dog, and he sees that, doesn't like it. But anyway, let's move on. So he sees that thing, I presume, or just next to it, or he's looking past that, trying to see out the window. But they want to tell you that there's a shadow going there, and he's following that shadow.
Dude.
Goes off screen. How he suddenly looks that way. Now, the person that uploaded this video obviously edited the video, and he knows his dog is doing this. Now, he doesn't want to give you the real backstory. You can see the blinds are closed. There might be not that thing. It might be that there was a squirrel, a cat, what is that? A cat or a bird of some sort that was behind the outside in this line of sight for the dog. He doesn't like that. The guy closes the blinds knowing his dog is going to keep doing that, and then starts taking video and then edited in the shadows. Now, if you look at the shadows, the dog isn't even properly following the shadow, because that's not what he's seeing. So the dog hears something there, quickly looks back this way to see if whatever he wants is still there. And then this guy adds a shadow in to come by, also quickly, to see if the dog follows that. But the dog isn't seeing anything. It's just looking back to the spot that he wants to see, which is up there. Which I'm thinking is probably that thing that's up there. And it's foreign to him. Now, he obviously is not going to give you the full backstory of what's happening here. You can also see the dog is in hunting mode. So it might be a squirrel or something that he wants to hunt. Because look at his tail. His tail is up. He is ready to grab whatever this is. There you can see his tail. That tells me straight away this dog is in hunting mode. Not alpha dog mode, there's a difference, but this is hunting mode. Let me give you an example of why this is fake. The dog is not chasing the shadow. The shadow is fake. That's been put into the video. Look at this dog here. By the way, the cutest damn dog you'll ever see. Maybe not. I don't know what you perceive as cute, but this dog, I would eat him alive. No,
They're eating the
They're eating the dog.
dogs.
I'm not doing that. I'll love him. Completely love him.
Okay, my dog is acting really weird. Just growling into the new baby's room. But
Let me just say, these people are pushing a narrative. Not this guy. This guy, you'll see. If you haven't seen this clip already, you'll see. I'm talking about the previous video about this guy. He's pushing a narrative. He wants you to believe that the dog is seeing a ghost, even though he's not. He knows what the dog is actually seeing.
there's nothing in here.
Let me just go back. Look, there's nothing there. You can only see the bucket, this woven thing here, the cot, the purple cot. There's nothing in the corner. It's all clean.
Get out of nothing.
But the dog is freaked out by something. Something in there he doesn't like.
She keeps growling at it. Just, yeah, something in this room.
There's nothing on that side either.
Really freaking her out. Yeah.
Oh, now it's freaked out. Now it's freaked out. Maybe it's...
Something in this corner.
So you can see there's nothing there. But the dog knows there's something. And the guy's going to show us what the dog sees.
Could it be the cat in the bassinet thingy?
So this is why I'm saying we can't see from this angle. We can't see anything. The dog can't even see the cat. He senses the cat. He knows the cat is in there. But we can't see it. And look at him filming. He's intentionally doesn't want to show you. When he gets closer, he doesn't want to show you inside there. Look at this. Because this is pushing a narrative. Not this guy. He's just joking around. He knows not to film the cat because he wants to reveal it later on. But the other people, they do this. They film in certain ways to push a narrative about ghosts. And when he turns to his right, he goes up and over, like in an arc, so that you don't see the cat in the bassinet.
Really freaking her out.
You see that? And then he'll reveal it later. So this is how they do this. It's so... But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Ghost child runs past camera.
Ya estamos aquí en la merienda. Tamalito con chocolate, queso, pan y mantecadita. Buen provecho para todos. Marta siempre... usted le va a tomar la foto a los...
That's the end of the clip. Now, if you haven't seen it, there it is right there. This thing that comes past. Now, I'm saying that's not what you think it is. I'm saying because it's a low quality camera and a fast moving object close to it, which is going to be out of focus because the focus area for the camera is going to be this area over here. So coming close past the camera would have that blurry effect and you can see right through it because the camera is not catching all of the details. Now, if you look over here, what I'm saying, what I'm seeing, now I might be wrong, but this part over here, this part is a hand like that. If you look at the hand from this way, this is what I'm seeing. And if you go back this way, you can see there's this part over here, right? Which could be the arm going past like that. Past the camera. Maybe she wanted to take something and she just readied the hand beforehand. I don't know why she did that. She has something around her hand. The hand appears black, but I don't think it is. I just think it's color shifting. And down here you can see the actual color of the arm, which matches his color of his arm, by the way. But just because it's maybe closer, I don't know. Cameras do weird things, but that's definitely a hand. I don't think that's a child with a see-through head that's running past. You can clearly see the fingers in it right here, when she gets to that point over there, that's someone doing this. Probably the person with the camera. Next video.
How long do you reckon that was in there for? It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages. They're like what?
Let me just say, it's a classic setup to, okay, I just learned, or I was taught how to fake a ghost video, but I have to get a setup. I have to build this narrative, right? I have to set the scene. And this is her way of setting the scene. Finding an old album, and after that, the hauntings start. Do they not all start that way?
Thick.
The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos.
Ooh, yeah. So there we set the scene. We set it up. Now you know, okay, it's definitely gonna be haunting. It's a ghost. Now here's the floating dart. Now according to this person, she threw the dart at the dartboard and it stopped right in front of the dartboard and it started floating. That's all it did. Now I call BS on that.
And it's like, it just stopped. And now it's like, am I tripping out?
So with this dartboard one, there's two clips from the same person. With this dartboard one,
I know it's like,
I initially thought, okay, there's a string attached here because this is going to be the pivot point. It's pivoting around this specific point over here. There's a string attached here, but you can't see any string that's attached to the dart itself. You can see in the groove, there's no string attached. So I have two options here. It's a string that's attached via super glue maybe on top of the dart where she's not showing the top part of the dart. And then that string is attached to this dart over here. And it's one of those magician strings, which is the invisible string. So that's one way. And then the other way is, I think it's electromagnets. Maybe these are special types of darts she found at a magician's shop, and this dart and this dart have magnets inside them, and you just put them just far enough out of reach, and they won't pull further in. I don't know. I don't know enough about magic tricks or stuff like that. That's the only rational thing that my mind can think of. But to say that you threw the dart and a ghost caught it in midair and now is swirling it makes no sense. My mind can't comprehend that. That's definitely not happening. But yeah, so I'm thinking, as you can see, this is the pivot point. There must be a string attached there. I'm gonna try and recreate that, and I'll show it in a later video. I don't have invisible string, but I do have a dartboard. So I'll try and recreate that, and let's see if I can. Next clip, also part of the same person. Okay, so this one, I never looked into maybe after that happened, is there a split frame? Let me just quickly see. Because I never considered that. It could be, but I'm not sure. But what I think happened here is, and I have some proof of this, now you might disagree. Someone's on the bed with a piece of string. You see where the headphones fell off, right? These are the headphones. Look at the angle. If there was a piece of string attached here, going around here, I'll show you why I say there's a piece of string. I'm not saying there's a piece of string. There might be a piece of string. that falls. And it falls on this click over here. It's a very specific click. As soon as the click happens, the headphones fall. I'm thinking the string that was used, the person sitting on the bed that used the string, pulled it a little bit hard and it probably snapped off of the hook from where the headphones are, and that's why the headphones fell as well, just creating an accidental haunting. But why I'm saying there's someone on the bed, I'll show you now, but also why I'm saying they use this string is this one specific frame. Now, invisible string is invisible, as the name suggests, but when viewed at a specific angle using a light, you can see it because it does reflect some light in some cases. Now, as we go in closer here, closer, there we go, right there. You see this white line that appears over here. Now, I might be grasping at straws here. This might not even be the case. This might just be a case of artifacts. But it appears in a very specific way, exactly where the haunting is happening. And if you look at the angle that this white line appears at, right here, it, you see that? It goes up this way towards the headphones. But I might be grasping at straws. There might not be something that I'm seeing there. But why I'm saying there's someone on the bed, excuse me. If you look at the video frame by frame, not once is any of the objects, or are any of the objects, moving independently from one another or splitting in half. Example, if you have, let's say, the TV over here, the TV isn't doing that or that. It's not splitting. Neither is the cupboard or the blankets or the dartboard, nothing. You can go frame by frame, it's not happening, right? But the bed, only the bed does it a little bit. Like they look at the bed independently moving, but there's more to that. Only the bed does that. And the bed really does that over here, where it's really pronounced, where she shows the bed. Right there, she shows the bed. Now, look at this. We're going frame by frame. Look at that part. So it's like the bed is split down the middle, and this part they don't want to touch. I say the person that's pulling the string is sitting on the bed over here. And if we go closer, look at that. That means there was multiple shots of this bed taken. Because look at the entire room moving, but except this part over here. And over here you'll see a bit moving because it was cut out like this probably. And the person on the bed is sitting right there. Do you see how the blankets, this blanket, look at it. Look at what the blanket is doing. It's moving separately from the bed. Don't you find that suspicious? And this corner over here. And this corner and that corner there is doing the same thing. And then up here as well. And this is the only part in the video where you see this. Because whoever pulled the string that they were using was standing in this spot over here. And I can bet my life on that. If we had the raw footage of them or their timeline, the editing timeline, you would see them there. You can disagree or not. Next one. Here we go. This dog, by the way, he's the alpha male. This one isn't, and this one definitely is not. Beta! So what happened here is 2 or 3 different shots were taken. And whoever moved the kennel would just cut out of it. And I can prove it by this. So here's the dog lying down, doing nothing, just lying down. Now, as soon as the kennel starts moving, the dog goes blurred. The dog is blurred out. Why? Is it because he moved quickly? No. Because they're faking this video. Now, not only that, look at the kennel. Only part of this kennel is moving, not the entire kennel. Now, you might say, yeah, but because that is because of static imagery, and then the kennel suddenly moves, and the camera has to get that data and show it to you, and it's not showing everything to you. I get that. Okay, but okay, look at the dog. The dog is there, goes blurry. The kennels move in this order, even though those two kennels aren't moving in the actual video. They're not even touched, because these are different shots, separate shots put together. No, hang on. Almost. The dog is blurred out. Move forward. Now we can see over here something's happening here, and here at the back here. Right? Going forward a little bit, something moves over there. Something is cut out around this area here. Something is cut out over here as well. Moving forward, the dog is now at the back there. There's the dog coming out of his kennel, but look at the movement of the kennel, still moving. Dog coming out. But initially the dog was lying down like that, and when he came out of the kennel, he was at the back of it. Now you might argue and say, yeah, because he's thrown to the back with the force. No, he wasn't. These are 2-3 separate video files put together. One with the dog like this in the kennel, and one with him like this in the kennel. And then he just came out. He comes out to discipline these dogs. You can see this dog is afraid of the other dog outside. After he gets his panties in a bunch, this dog comes inside and sits here in the corner, because he's the alpha male. They did something he doesn't like, or it's about food aggression. Because you can see a bowl there as well. So I might just have eaten as well. You can see he's just checking on them, and then he goes back into his kennel. He's the alpha male. So these are 3 shots put together. That's not a ghost that pulled on the kennel. Next one.
I swear to God,
This one is very interesting.
there was like some. What the fuck is that? You gotta be kidding me! Who goes there? Who goes there? That cannot be real. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me. What the fuck was that? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be messing with me. I swear to God, this gotta be a joke. Whoever's in here, I command you to leave in the name of Jesus Christ. I ask you to leave now. Oh, oh, I got adrenaline going right through my body. What the is that? What the Who got there? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Wasn't this close? Oh, what the is that? Guys, you gotta be kidding me. What's the thing? Oh, I'm getting a headache badly. I'm getting a fucking headache badly. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
And that's the end of that clip. There are definitely 3 people involved in this clip. And I believe this is an art project or a film project that they're doing, or just for the fun of it. But while he, so the female screams, he freaks out. He walks to searches for where it is and finds that it's in this specific room. Now, this room, this room over here, you can see the curtains are closed. But the second time he goes in there, this is now when the door slammed shut. He goes in. You can see that the curtain is open. Sorry. And you can also see that there's dust particles flying around all over the place. Look at this. Look at all the dust particles.
What the f is that?
Because the window's open. And you can also see that the curtain hasn't been put back after they climbed out. Maybe they climbed out, or they're still even just behind the curtain itself. Because he doesn't ever open that curtain to show you what's going on there. So I think that's what's happening here, is they keep hiding there behind the curtain. And the dust particles is from them slamming the door so hard that it shook the dust off of the ceiling, I think. Now, when he is in here investigating, maybe there's 4 people involved, 2 people or 1 person in the kitchen, putting everything down, the chairs on its side, and opening all the cupboards. Now, here is where this goes from maybe to definitely not. Is when he comes back to the kitchen and he finds everything is on its side, the chairs are laying down, the cupboards are open. Now, what type of a ghost is this considered, right? Like, don't tip the trash can over because we might spill trash and we don't want to offend the humans. And also don't throw the glass table on its side because it's a glass table, it's going to break. Now, these people, when they did this, when they were planning this, they said, okay, don't put the table on its side because I'm scared it breaks, and just leave the trash can as it is. Don't worry about that. People aren't even going to see that. They're going to see everything else. But we do see it. What type of a ghost is that considered? No, that's you scared to get your trash all over the floor, and you don't want your glass table to break. So, there are a couple of people involved here. He's overacting. It's a bit too much. Now, for some people that aren't skeptical at all would look at this and go, oh my goodness, that is so crazy. That happened to me just the other day. I just came back from a trip that this happened to me. You know, people do that. But the skeptical people will go like, okay, he's going a bit wild for this. So yeah, maybe he's just a scared person and it's really happened. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comment sections, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.